Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the Stands. Welcome to another episode of Crunch Talk, the show in which we talk about the nitty gritty, the real hard talking conversations surrounding Aston Villa Football Club. And you may agree, you may disagree, and that's what this show is all about. Engaging in these tough conversations that not everyone wants to have. I'm here putting my neck out on the line to tell you this. Aston Villa's defeated mentality off the pitch has now transferred to on the pitch. I'm going to explain exactly what that means. And if you're someone who doesn't agree with my opinions, you may agree with this sentiment. All this moaning, all this talk about PSR, SCR simply has put Aston Villa in a defeatist mindset. Before a ball was even kicked this season, we had already accepted our fate. We'd already accepted that we were battling an unfair advantage. We were already accepted that things were going to be difficult. And basically, for me, we were waving the white flag before a ball was even kicked. Now, fast forward, league games and a Carabao Cup exit, and you're seeing that in its true form and true fruition. A football team who seems deflated, defeated, dejected, and lacking ideas. A team that looks like they want the pitch to swallow them up. A team that looks like they have lost before balls even been kicked. And that now is seeping into the fan base. Unai Emery must and needs to sort this out. I'm going to highlight exactly what I mean by this defeatist attitude, and we need to sort this rotten attitude out. People, make sure you're smashing the like button for me. Engage in the conversation. Big up to everyone. As I said, this is the Crunch Talk, and we will touch all things that need to be talked about. Big up to Farmy, he says it's been shit, absolutely worse than that. And big up to Niall Kane as well. So, where do I even begin? I saw a really good tweet, a really good article about this exact situation, and I found myself nodding frantically. I found myself agreeing and going, do you know what? This couldn't be more of the truth. As soon as we lost to Manchester United at Old Trafford, the conversation has frequently been about this PSR deadline. What was the 30th of June? Are we going to sell? Are we going to keep? Who are we losing? How's it going to go? This is unfair. How are we meant to compete? This isn't fair with the top six, X, Y, and Z. And as that cycle went on, we started seeing players, as I've mentioned before. We've seen John McGinn being very vocal about this PSR situation. A defeatist mindset from our captain to basically say it's unfair, we'll have to do what we can, but it's not great. Ezri Konsa, just recently on international duty, blasted how PSR ruined Aston Villa's summer transfer window and felt like it was holding us back. All this language that was coming out from the players about being held back, about sort of, being done hard by PSR and SCR, for me, is genuinely now transparent on the pitch. And I hope that people who even disagree with a lot of my sentiment and views can see this for themselves, that actually this couldn't be truer. It's a defeated mindset. And I'm going to read the exact tweet out that I bookmarked in relation to this. It says, and it comes from the first part where Ezri Konsa staff furiously hits out at the Premier League's crazy spending rules, insisting they really killed Aston Villa in the transfer window. And Ezri Konsa, as I said, this is again not singling out Ezri because I think there's a few players who've done this, but Ezri Konsa has said himself that it really killed us. Okay, so what does that mean? We give up? We stop? We don't put our best foot forward? We don't conjure up and go again? We don't look around ourselves and go, hey, who cares? We're good enough. Do I want Russell Martin? No, he is poison, and he's killing Rangers very quickly. We could have signed Grealish, but of idiots in charge of transfer window. Yeah, we're going to touch on those people. So that stuff on Ezri Konsa there. Ezri Konsa saying that we have been killed in the transfer window, really killed. John McGinn, as I said, just before we went to America, had that big interview about it all, saying it's all nonsense. The sale of Jacob Ramsey, Mings and McGinn again, saying it's all nonsense, it's holding us back, it's killing us. It's just moaning defeatist mindset. And people will come on here, oh, all you're doing is moaning about it. Now, what I'm doing is actually calling out the standards and what's happening with our players. So all this noise from Aston Villa this pre-season and the transfer window was of a defeated club. And I stand by that. My club, my players, my Monchi, my Vidigani all stood there and said how tough pre-season and the transfer window was, and basically already had waved the white flag. Hence why the stream that I did yesterday, or the other day, should I say, about the fact that Vidigani has changed the goalpost and said that actually we're trying to build now. It's a club that has waved the white flag before the ball was kicked. A defeated club. And it's come from the top and it's seeped itself down into the players and the backroom staff, the manager and everything. From the top to the players now, we have everyone with this defeated, tail between their legs, hard done by attitude. And you can see it now with the body language. And I'm going to go even deeper into that because I actually think now Rashford and Asensio maybe tipped the boat the wrong way last season. And I'm going to come on to that a little bit later on in the stream, so hold on that. But I actually am now seeing that I think Rashford and Asensio came in and tipped some of our core squad, regular players, the other way. So when you look at this defeatist mindset from the top, seeped into our players, with an aging team, a first 11 that Unai keeps picking, leaving new signings on the bench, predictable and narrow tactics, no wonder momentum has been lost. No wonder momentum has been lost. You put all those combinations together, and this is why Aston Villa is in a bad place. And not only that, that we are going into another chapter, 30 years without a trophy. We've just bowed out in pathetic fashion in the Carabao Cup to Brentford. I cannot stress this anymore. It is all about the mindset and mentality. We saw a mindset, weakness, and mentality back end of last season where we failed to get over the line for the Champions League, where we crashed out against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup, where we bowed out against Olympiacos in a Europa Conference League semi-final. Really, we should have got done. But now I've come into this season and all I see is a bunch of players, staff, upper tier staff, ownership, basically going, we're poor Aston Villa, we're hard done by, leave us alone, it ain't fair. And now, no wonder we are bowing out of competitions. No wonder we're sat in the relegation zone. And I genuinely believe that players are going to keep looking around now going, well, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. And just take no responsibility. Unai Emery is going to dig his heels in and go, well, this ain't my fault that I can't spend money, and this is how I play, and I need more players. The owners are going to go, and Vidigani and Monchi are going to go, well, we've got to stick in the rules, so you've got to deal with it. And I think everyone now, they talk about trying to pull together. Well, there's none of that. There's no pulling together. It's what, for me, it looks like every man for themselves, everyone looking around trying to point a finger of blame, and actually they don't know who to land it on. He can't do what's happened to us. A Brentford side, and this is, someone made a very good point on one of my videos, on my comments on the match reactions yesterday. Do you know what they said? They said, it's quite tongue-in-cheek, really, to try and blame PSR and SCR when you've just seen Brentford lose their manager, Jan Visa, Brian Mbuemo, their goalkeeper, have the core of their team ripped out, and you don't hear a peep from them. You don't hear a peep from them. You don't hear a peep from Brentford about how hard done by they are. All I'm hearing from the Aston Villa perspective is, feel sorry for us. Oh, feel sorry for us. It's crazy. And then all of this now, for me, stems on the players going, do we trust Unai Emery? Do we trust Unai Emery? Why do loan players now keep getting minutes and they're never going to sign for us? Ari, Donyell Marlin, for example. The sale of Jacob Ramsey, whether you like it or not, McGinn and Mings basically have let us into the mindset of the dressing room. They're all pissed off Jacob Ramsey went. They're all holding sour grapes. It's absolutely rotten to the core. The mentality of the squad is rotten to the core. And anyone who sits there and now is going, well, if we win the Europa League, we're going to be okay. Do you actually think this team's got the mentality to win a trophy? You think this team's got the bottle of minerals right now to go and win a trophy? They're a bunch of crybabies. They're a bunch of finger-pointing crybabies, make excuses for them. The delusion is crazy. And the Unai Emery comments about dominating games is now pissing me off. I don't care about the possession stats at the back. I don't care if we pass the ball backwards, sideways, and we're dominating a game. Win a fucking game first. I'd rather we win a game and have 10% possession. And then I feel like the fans, those who are traveling, those who are going to the games again, absolutely pissed on. They're dejected. They can't get behind a team that looks half-assed. You sit here now and you think there are three teams worse than us right now. Oh, but it will click, will it? I don't think Unai even knows his best 11. Oh, we'll hit some form. Okay, when? Oh, it can't be this bad. How do you know? Like, I think we have to really ask ourselves with that eye test. And I'm seeing people hold on again to glimpses. Oh, Sancho and Elliott look good. Oh, what, two lone players again? We're holding on. We're holding on to moments that really, for me, again, I'm going to be really strong on this. For moments that are just those who are too scared to really speak out. Those who are too scared to actually say how it is that is shit. Let me come to some of the comments and then go on to my next phase. But the key opening 10 minutes of there is the hierarchy made excuses before a ball was kicked from pre-season into the league, into the transfer window. It somehow seeped its way itself into the players, and now they believe they have a bed of excuses. They believe they are hiding behind a bed of excuses. It's also on the players. Do we look like we have a match on the pitch at the moment? No, we're all looking around again. That sort of blame culture, that blame mentality. We're all looking around trying to think who's going to step up. Watkins is a troublemaker, not playing against PSG and wants out. Listen, hold this comment here because I'm going to talk about how Rashford and Asensio potentially have rocked that boat in a way that's really damaging, that I think has pissed off the likes of Ollie Watkins, Donyell Marlin. I think to an extent point as well, people like Ramsey and Bailey were sort of asking questions themselves. Where Rashford and Asensio came in and was a massive gamble, the gamble is now backfired. The gamble is now massively backfired. It's also on the players. We look like. Sorry, I've done that one. Big up to Duncan as always. Even though I can't emphasize this is just not last 4 matches. It's the last 18 months, isn't it? If we really deep it, and those who are real will know that. Watkins didn't get the ball, so now he doesn't move. It's crazy the lack of service that Ollie Watkins has. I don't know it, but it's not just on Watkins. Look at Donyell Marlin. He had to play the 9 role, and again, he was trapped. It was a crap showing for Donyell Marlin yesterday as well. Just we don't know how to use our number 9. On a real question, how long do we give Emery? I love Emery, but he has an expiry date through the history of clubs. What happened to our highline also? We were great when we had. Oh, he adapted and changed because clearly something had rattled him or bothered him. Exactly that, and that flip-flopping Mohammed of that. How long do we give him? Until you realise that right now, unless we keep seeing this same insanity of doing the same thing over and over again, then he needs to go. We're stuck. He has to change the mentality. He has to fix this. And for me, it has to be done ASAP. Yes, he changed the starting lineup at Brentford. Almost forced to, though, because it was the Carabao Cup. So forced to rotate, should I say. Did he change the system? Did he change the way we play? Was it still the same boring build-up? Did the players look confident? Was there this freedom? The only real half of football that I feel that Aston Villa played with any freedom under Unai Emery last season was PSG second half, where I think the players went completely against his rule book, went, no, we're actually going to do it our way, and played on an absolute freedom. Apart from that, it's literally chains and shackles on the pitch. What do we do if this continues? Have to go. You can't. If the morale of the dressing room is this bad, if players are not working to Emery's system, if he's hitting that third season syndrome again, if we're still in a relegation zone, if we're getting knocked out and we're not really looking that convincing in the Europa League, and that is my worry, that the Europa League, his trophy, is what will keep Villa keeping him in the job. They'll go, oh, but it's his trophy. Oh, that's his stomping ground. If we lose Sunday, I think Emery has to go. Yeah, I mean, if we lose Sunday, it's what, 2 points from 15. The mentality should be backs against the wall. That's what he's trying to do. Sometimes people are more fans of Emery than the club. Yeah, that's an issue, actually. This is a great point. A lot of Emery fanboys or fangirls around him himself because he's given us amazing years, better than we've had for the last 15, 20 years. Okay, things evolve. But it is a total loss of morale. I genuinely take on medicine in the league and go all out in Europe, then let owners decide something. What? But again, look what happened to Man United, Gary. Man United with Ruben Amorim had an absolute terrible Premier League campaign, and they didn't win the Europa League. And guess what's happened with Man United this season? The same shit. So again, whatever you want to blame Manchester United, they hid behind their league position because they got to a Europa League final. If you don't win that Europa League, do that. And I'll go on it again. Even Andrew won it and he got the sack. Agree. You can't get something that doesn't ignite passion. Forget Europe, we ain't winning that. Sunday's result is still go for Emery. Wow, massive. A lot of people are there with that as well. Yeah, what are we cheering for? Possession. Yeah. Keep the faith so we've been through worse. We have, but again, my stance is this. I think people are forgetting the amount of wages that we have spent, the revenue that we're trying to generate, the expansion of Aston Villa Football Club with the off the pitch stuff, and how we're going to increase the game day experience, the amount of money we're throwing in to what, get relegated. Oh, you're too big to go down, are we? Tell that to when Leicester City went down. Tell that to Leeds United. Oh, you're too big. No. We've been relegated before. For me, it's worse now because we were in the Champions League last season. Do you get me? We were in the Champions League last season. We were living the high life. It's worse now for me because we're going backwards at a crazy rate. In life, if you have a slow trajectory, you go along and it feels nice and smooth. In life, you can have that quick one, and then when the blip hits, you drop and you drop hard. Right now, really, people? Really, right now? For me, it feels worse. It really does feel worse because we were so close to being consistent contenders for a Champions League, consistent qualification, that is, consistent contenders for being right up there in the Premier League. And now people are just calling us Aston Vanilla, Aston, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I know, Sunday, you can dream. You can dream. We are too rigid. Exactly that. It's shocking how fast this happened. Didn't see us coming. Thing is, Gary, I did. because you need to analyse last season again without your claret and blue glasses on. And that's where you'll see last season we were bailed out by John Duran in the first half, and then Rashford and Sensei put some magic in it from January to April, or January to March, should I say. And we were bailed out by ballers last season. Rodgers and Watkins stepped up, delivered. This season they're off it, and look at what's happened. The new players, though, Rusty looked better in the first half. Yeah, it's true. So all these I love Emery people. What happens if we lose Sunday against Sunday? Yeah, I want to know. The team's mentality has gone back to when Emery first took over. I'm not sure he can lift them this time. The first team hasn't really improved in a lot of time yet. In fact, we've lost a lot of pace out of the team. We've lost a lot of dynamism. We have lost a lot of confidence. And I think this team looks older by the minute. Don't you think when you watch Brentford again, think how fast, energetic, exuberant, refreshing they look? And this is Brentford, by the way. Watch some of the other Premier League teams. Watch Sunderland as well when we play them. Yeah, I honestly think when I watch Villa at the moment, slow, lethargic, aging. It's not a pretty display. I actually think our performances are old. We look old and tired out there. We don't look like we've got a sprint in us. So yeah, does a manager even really turn it around? I think it's hard to come back from a lost dressing room. Yeah, I actually think it looks hard to come back from a broken dressing room. But I think his post-match interviews of that thing of dominating possession is it's just weird. I don't know why he's so obsessed with this dominating the game. Big up chat, big up Josh, big up Ant. Hope you like my Jared info on X post. In fact, I will try and share that with people now, Ant, if I can. Because yeah, it was fantastic comparison. Let me try and get this up for people. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Big up to Ant. Big up to everyone as well. Make sure you are smashing the like button. If you do have X or Twitter, do retweet my stream as well. If you could, that would be greatly appreciated to share that out there. But it says here, Steven Gerrard was sacked by Aston Villa in October 2022 during the 23 Premier League season. His record that season before being dismissed was 12 games, 2 wins, 3 draws, 7 losses. So Gerrard got 12 games. Gerrard got 12 games to try and turn it around. 12 games to turn that around, in which he had 2 wins and 3 draws. We're yet to have a win. We're 4 games in? So Emery is probably on this trajectory. So that's what Steven Gerrard had before he got sacked. That's how early we went on Gerrard, 12 games. 12 games on Steven Gerrard. That's nuts, actually. That is nuts, isn't it? Gerrard got 12 games. I wonder how long Emery gets. Here you go. And this is another part as well, which Ant shared, is he also shared with me that food for YouTube channels, after 4 Premier League games in Steven Gerrard's final season at Aston Villa, the club had 3 points. So Emery's on 2. We are now on 2 with a much better squad, and Emery's protectors are still spouting about criticism. There we go. Yeah, let's keep the standards. Exactly that, Ant. I'm glad you shared that with me. So the standards we had for Steven Gerrard, why are they any different for Unai Emery? Oh, because Emery gave us Champions League football. Oh, because Emery did this for us. So what? Why are our standards changing for Unai Emery than they were for Steven Gerrard? Why did Gerrard get 12 games and we're willing to give Emery till Christmas? And he's on worse form. So it's a great point, Brian. It's a great point. The flair and individuality is coached at the players sideways, slopping possession, Sunday games. Yeah, the flair, the creativity and individuality is brilliant. Yeah. 10 years since the disaster campaign, no repeats, thanks. It's scary, isn't it, Duncan? 10 years anniversary. Damn. Can we question Monty, please? Of course we can. I called him out all summer. He's supposed to be one of the best on earth in gems. Brighton born from a future. Listen, Monty, if anyone reads about Monty's past at his old clubs, they say he tears the club apart. I don't know where people have PR spin this guy Monchi being a genius. Look at apparently what he's done at older clubs, and I'm telling you now, I'm ready for a stream where I'm going to show you Unai Emery's last season at Arsenal, and we're going to look deep into what Monchi's done. Monchi destroys clubs. You need to think about this with Monchi. Okay, think about the players we've lost: Dougie Luiz, Diaby, Ramsey, Bailey, Duran. We've lost so much pace and forward players, and not replace them really. We've done loanees. We put all our money into his mate Marco Asensio, who didn't even want to sign for us in the end. Oh, Rashford, have some high wages, didn't sign for us in the end. Jadon Sancho, let's do the same. Probably won't sign for us in the end. Monchi is a fraud. Oh, Morgan Rogers. People are going off Morgan Rogers. Everyone's holding on to the Morgan Rogers signing. Moreno, waste of time at left back. We went and got Matson and bloody Luca Dean. Evan Gesson, Mallon. Mallon's going to be one that we ship on in the end because he doesn't even play for us. Another waste. Honestly, you're going to look at a point now where Monchi signs under Unai, you're going to struggle to find a good one. Anana, always injured. Ross Barkley, always injured. Emery's signings have been shit. Facts. Emery's signings have been a waste of time and shit. And that comes with Monchi. And the sickening thing about Monchi in our most crucial summer, he was off trying to save his boyhood club. That's when I had enough. And people go, oh, but he can still do his job on the phone. Oh, he can still be at a laptop. No. This guy's already told me that Aston Villa's second best to him. This guy's already told me that he's given up and he's defeated. Oh, wait, the mentality from the top. When my guy knows that this is one of the key summers for Villa, and we've got all these rumours and speculations about the PSR deadline, and Monchi's off saving bloody Pub League FC, the Spanish version of Estrella FC, off to save his boyhood club so he can become president. Well, my club, our club, is in its most precedented time in a transfer window, and he's off. That mentality is wrong. And anyone who wants to argue that as well, please tell me why I'm talking shit. Please tell me why I'm waffling about that, because I'm not having it. It's all about mentality. Monchi doing that at the start of the summer set the tone. I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got other priorities. That tone set it off for me. Absolutely set off the tone. And I go back to what I opened this stream with, and if you missed it, I said the mentality is rotten at Aston Villa. We've been a defeated team, defeated players, defeated board of directors, owners, Vidigani, whatever he is. They've all basically waved the white flag during pre-season before balls even kicked, and no wonder the team looks absolutely shattered. And that's why I'm saying maybe we need to get rid of the whole regime and start fresh. Because if that's not just Unai, if it's Vidigani, if it's Monchi, if we're all talking this, oh, feel sorry for us, then the whole lot needs to go. And we've already seen, and you can't say, oh, that's speculation, because look at how Vidigani interacts on social media. He's begging fans to stick behind him. He's begging fans to not be critical. He's begging fans to calm down and say how hard they've worked. And then he was telling us that we're rebuilding. I'm sorry, but it's worth crunch talk because I'm not holding back. It's how I feel. But yeah, Watkins Rogers looks like they don't want to be there. Post and he's only a new manager to fix that relationship. Yeah, listen, Watkins knew as soon as Rashford started playing number 9, Watkins is going, Gaffer, what's going on? And Daniel Marlin's going, hello, Unai. Yeah, Rashford, Asensio coming Champions League squad. Daniel Marlin. Oh, I just signed. Oh, what? I'm not in the Champions League. Seriously, poor man management. No wonder Watkins is fucked off. No wonder Rodgers is pissed off that Asensio came and played the number 10. He gets pushed out wide. Yeah? No wonder some of these players' heads have absolutely gone. No wonder they're probably bitching about Emery behind his back, going, I don't really trust this guy anymore because he dropped me for some loanees who didn't even sign us. Poundland recruitment team it is. At the moment, teams up for the players. Yeah, they know we're spineless. I don't care how much flat, yeah, but we're going down in there. He's lost it. Simple, and he's changing. Exactly, Stevens. Hold your chest on it. Same back four since Dean Smith Jarrett days. Disgusting. Margin problem again. Ironically, we're missing Bailey, but pace it. The Rock will not stop. Agree. I don't see how. Oh, yeah. If we go and win at Sunderland, brilliant. But it's that continuity. And again, oh, you're not a real fan. I don't want us to get relegated, which means that I want us to win football games. I also want us to win trophies. So anyone's going, you're a negative fan, this isn't helping. No. I'm probably just the same as anyone else, but doing it in a different way. I want us to win a trophy this season, and I want us to go and get top 4 football. But I can see with my eyes, as can a lot of you in the chat, that right now we're not on that trajectory to do it, and we're losing hope that Unai is that guy. So doesn't make you a worse fan. It also doesn't make someone a worse fan for being super positive. We're all supporters of the club, and that's the one thing I always say. We should all have one thing in common. We all love Aston Villa. We all support Aston Villa, but we all can have an opinion on it. And just because you're calling it out how it is doesn't make you a worse fan. Doesn't make you a negative fan. Doesn't make you anything of that sort. Because that's what I get to. Oh, someone actually commented on a video. Oh, you enjoy that we didn't win another game? No, I won't. Because I'm not blind to the fact we could get relegated. Though I still think there are some fans out there, we won't get relegated. There's worse teams in the league. The Wolves and West Ham fans think the same. I know that West Ham fans are shit scared they could get relegated this season. And guess what they're doing? They're calling for Graham Potter's head. Graham Potter, less time than Unai Emery. Graham Potter's head's being called out because West Ham fans have seen enough to know if this guy stays in, it could go tits up. They're not going to wait around. Let's see who pulls the trigger first. Do you know what I mean? Look at Sheffield United, by the way. They sacked their manager and then they brought in Chris Wilder again because they know someone who knows how to do the job. And do you know what Chris Wilder's good at? Man management, people skills, team morale. Sheffield United waited 4 games and then sacked their manager 5 games, however they played. Big up to everyone in chat. I keep coming back to Ming's comment about players not wanting to be here. I feel there's probably a divide in dressing room. Exactly. Players have spoken too much, Cyril. And you're spot on. Players have actually spoken too much in the media to let us know there's a divide. Players have spoken too much to let us know there's a mentality issue. I will never forget Matty Cash's comments last season after the FA Cup exit, where he told fans to basically calm expectations, stop being critical, and basically said the players were shit scared to play at Wembley. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that basically Mings and McGinn came out and told us all to not say a bad word about Jacob Ramsey because how he got sold. And he's also now cryptically, as he said, basically said, those who want to stay will stay. Well, guess what? Emi Martinez was one of those who's ended up staying. You're going to call it out to him? It's all good being a keyboard warrior. It's all good trying to be that cult hero for Villa, Mings. And ironically, Mings did an interview yesterday talking about how silverware is the focus this season, where we've just bowed out of another trophy. Yeah, I know you didn't play, but do you know what I mean? This is the danger. Who is controlling these players? Who is allowing players to show us fans there is a divide? And that's why we're on the ceiling. That's why there is this real talk. Because Mings ain't bullshitting us. Cyril, you're spot on to bring this up. And you haven't seen it. I'll need to try and find it. Or Cyril, if you can find the quote. Tyrone Mings basically went out and said, "It's now time to focus those who want to be here after all the Emi Martinez noise." And the worst part is Emi stays. So Mings makes that statement without knowing the future of Emi Martinez. It's absolutely crazy. The divide in that change room, you can feel it. You can feel it. A lot of us saw it coming, but got shot down, told we were overreacting and wrong. The naysayer players are up, the manager's asked anyway, and are in denial and can't see past Emery. Half the squad need to go as well. The squad's aging bad. Truth is, we blagged it last year and bottled the Wembley visit. Correct. Baranche, another shit Monchi decision. Guess what? He scored for Benfica in the Champions League. He's stuck in my opinion now. His tactics have been found out and he's signed players what can only play that way. Yeah, and basically he's trying to square peg round holes. Yeah, I think that was an interesting one. Could have let him go. The same players are listening to Emery the last 3 years. Must be sick of hearing waffle on now. Meetings about meetings. Apparently, yeah, like, again, Matty Cash. On international duty for Poland. I remember actually saying this to Heidi when I read the quote. He said, sometimes Emery keeps us on the training pitch and he can go on about something for a very long time and we can lose concentration. Imagine saying that. Oh, they're basically saying he's a brilliant manager. He's meticulous in his detail, X, Y, and Z. And then he actually said, and sometimes we can lose our focus or concentration because he goes on for a point quite a while. I need to find that, Duncan. Was that on YouTube? Because that's my next part. Monchi is a problem. Who was the guy before Monchi? You should have kept him. The guy who went to Tottenham, and I can't think of his Johan Lang, wasn't it? What has Emery won domestically? Well, PSG, but that's it. Yeah. Monchi out, 100% Monchi out, and Vidigani. But yeah. We were warned by Arsenal fans, but Unai is very stubborn. He won't change tactics. Yeah, absolutely. How much would it cost to sack Emery? If anyone knows that, put that in the chat. The trouble is, where do we go if Unai leaves? Upwards. Upwards. But yeah. Gary said, oh, need that fact. What Duncan's saying, Ant, is it? No, so I think Duncan and Ant will be confused. Ant's basically saying that Duncan is irreversible with Unai Emery now, but Duncan's saying actually you can reverse it by getting a new manager in. That's what I've seen there. Villa Boy says, you're one of few that I see these days that isn't living in denial of delusion. Real facts you're talking. Thank you. That's what every show will be like this. Even if we start winning, still going to look at it without claret and blue glasses. And we're going to win a game of football soon. Okay, we are going to win a game of football soon. That has to happen, right? But like Gerrard had 12 games, he had 2 wins in those 12 games. You're going to have that win. But it's then where do you go after that win and the next game and the next game? So when we win, we're going to have people go, oh, Emery outers or Emery doubters, where are you now? You're quiet now. No, I'll be here the same going brilliant and I'll be happy because it means when we win a game of football, we've had an extra 3 points and hopefully we'll be out that relegation zone. Because again, I'll have to keep repeating myself, like everyone else probably will, to justify we don't want Villa to go down. And right now we're in the relegation zone. So we want the 3 points. We don't want Villa to lose to get Emery out. I'm not one of those guys. I'll take the hit of us keep losing until we sack him. No. I'm here to get 3 points. I'm here to get a trophy. So whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Colin, remember when fans said, oh, Bailey is so bad? Now we need him, do we? Yeah. Avoiding relegation is 100% priority. Forget the rest. Correct. If that's the case, these players need to put their big boy pants on and do whatever they're paid minutes to do. Facts, Michael. Millions to do. But it's all the bitching and moaning on social media that I'm done with, if I'm honest. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. And as much as Tyrone Mings is trying to show that I'm Villa till I die and I'm here and don't question my loyalty, which is true, Tyrone, but we already know that, Mings. We already know you're Villa till you die and that you're loyal. But you don't need to come out and tell us there's a divide. You need to keep that in the changing room and sort it out. You don't need to tell us that to shut up about Jacob Ramsey. Mings, I quote, I don't want to hear a bad word said on Jacob Ramsey's name. You're not to tell us that. If we want to say that Jacob Ramsey was absolutely underwhelming as an Aston Villa player under Unai Emery, I'm going to say that. But don't tell us what we can and can't say, and don't stir shit. John, if we beat Sunderland for long and Fulham, everyone will be praising United. All fans need a winning team. Villa can't compete financially. Even if we go on those 3 games, it'll be good. But let's just see what the tactics are. Win it, yeah. That's it. Johan Lange left for Spurs and won a trophy. And actually, Spurs' recruitment this season, bloody good. Mohamed Kudus, Kolo Muani, Xavi Simons. Villa squad, West Ham Wolves squad, both a good thing and a problem. Yeah, well, again. But do you know what makes me laugh? Villa squad, Emery signings, no good ones. I'm actually going to do a video on that, I think. I'm going to go through a fine-tooth comb of every Unai Emery signing and give my opinion on them. Because Onana and Barkley are getting cooked. Daniel Marlin, I feel sorry for. Rodgers, everyone loved, but all of a sudden everyone's turning on Rodgers. West Ham fans got what they wished for. Sat Moyes will be exactly the same. No, I think that their next replacement after Moyes was the problem. They went with the Spanish guy. I can't think who it is. Completely the wrong name. They went with the wrong name after Moyes. If they went with a more stable approach after Moyes, even though they shouldn't have sacked him, I agree. All I hear is the best manager we've had, and yes, I do go. It doesn't mean he's untouchable. He's not untouchable. Scared to play at the moment should be their dream. Facts. Buendia opinions. Look, Emi Buendia, as much as he is looks grateful to play for Villa, as much as he looks like he's trying his hardest, as much as actually he does some nice intricate play, Emi Buendia's GA will be below 5. We're in 2025. Emi Buendia should not be starting for Aston Villa in the Premier League when we're trying to win a trophy. And let me further add, qualify for Champions League. Emi Buendia in 2025 shouldn't be happening. Maybe Emi Buendia in 2023 or 2022, yes. Emi Buendia in 2025, no. And I love it because he pulls up his socks. He does look like he works hard. But let's beat around the bush. Is Emi going to score us 5 goals plus? Is he actually going to get any assists? Hopefully, I've cursed him. He goes and does that. It's madness. It's madness. Our players don't have the mentality to win trophies. Yeah, that's why it's rotten to the core. Yeah, that was a big rumour about Rodgers. I've been called fickle and crazy in other chats. Well, at least you know you've got a safe space here, Ant, and I think that we will prevail. I just think those who've done their research, those who have looked at it properly, those who have took their Claret Blue glasses off, those who have looked at his tenure at Arsenal, those who have looked at Monchi's signings, those who are watching every game this season will know. And I'm sorry to say this again, but what probably annoys me is the bandwagon jumpers who are going to defend Emery to now until it's too late, and then they go, "Oh, Emery out." And I'm starting to see it. Those you know my channel, I've probably been on this same wave now for probably. I've been pissed off since the transfer window. Let's not beat around the bush. And I've probably given it a real talk. I'm starting to see people go the other way now, who are super uber positive, start to question it. And I just think you gotta stand your ground. Now, if you do mean it, stay on this wave. Because I've just said this. My belief is that Unai has taken us as far as he can. I'm cheering us on, but I think that change is needed. And even if it gets good and even if we're winning, I'll still be looking at it with that perspective and going, okay, I'm not going to get too carried away at the moment if Villa win. And that's the real talk. I'm not going to get too carried away. I'm going to stay humble. I'm going to stay grounded, take it each game. Because right now, for me, we're in a relegation fight. Captain Mano, not panicking. Guess on the opinions. Too early, but again, very raw. Not an Unai Emery type player. This guy wants to do things that is not structured. This guy actually wants to play fluid football. And I think he's going to get cussed out for it. There we go. Buendia looks like the players trying fact. No one actually knows what Gesson does either. But yeah. Facts, Michael. I was worried it's uncharged to leave a big hole, but I actually hope they all go and clean his players. They seem like yes men, yeah. They only chase the dream over spent on poor signs of lone players. Well, they've trusted the wrong people, I think. Big up to Rich. Hope you're well. Yes, something is wrong. No improvement's been made in any way. Players not run, let alone win again. We're going live at 9, mate, to discuss this as well. Nice work. Nice work, Rich. I will divert people over to you. I am actually going to be doing a watch long. I was meant to do the Chelsea game, but I've overran. So I am going to jump over to that. Because I was going to watch some Champions League football. Bayern Chelsea, I thought would be a good one. So I'm going to divert to that in a minute and send people the link if they want to jump over. But that's good that Rich is going live as well. I don't see us winning anytime soon. Everyone's figured out there. If they don't press centre backs, we have no way of getting the ball forward. It's disgusting how we can't move the ball forwards. But yeah, just going through the comments. Well, Montreal don't have the balls to sack Unai. No. If Buendia had 10 others around him playing with his heart, then we'd probably get a decent J. Facts. But he doesn't. And that's why I think he's just been swept away. Every game I see we attack, we look hopeless and players have like free. Exactly this. And then look how Brentford went forward. Look how Brentford sort of just flowed. And this team isn't even the best one right now. Do you know what I mean? This isn't even a good Brentford team. They flow. We don't use Monchi signs because they're injured. The only reason I think Emery is a problem is because of the players' ego and the childish attitudes surrounding them. It's terrible attitudes. And Monti's option B. That's true. That's true. And look what's happening. We didn't even get our first choice, and we got our second choice, and it's all gone to shit. So there we go. Right, people, I've absolutely enjoyed this. As I said, some people, they're looking for the positive vibes. They're looking for people to, stand there and say how amazing it is, and things are all good, etc., etc. And I'm not having it. I'm not having it. So if you do want to have a bit more of a chat, not just about buying Chelsea, but actually more Villa chat, I am going to continue on to here. So if you want to come and chat more Villa, but also watch Bayern Chelsea, then I'm doing a watch along on this platform, Big Up. I'd actually really appreciate if people come over. I would love a nice chat with more of you to start up. But I am going over to here to do a watch along on Bayern Munich Chelsea. So come over and we'll talk more Villa there. I'm just going to share the screen. I am a little bit late for kickoff, but it's there. You can see it. It's not some dodgy site that I've sent you to. It's legit. You can see my face up there in the watch along. And that's where we're diverting to. And then Rich is over live at 9 o'clock as well. So do check out Rich. But yeah, come over to the Big Up for Bayern Munich versus Chelsea. I don't know what I've just done to my screen, but I've absolutely ruined it now. Really don't know how I've just messed up this, but that's fine. Yeah, I've messed up my screen somehow. But yeah, I will quickly redirect as well to old Rich. Well, he's not old, is he? To young Rich, redirect. Hopefully his thing's there. Trying to find him. Trying to find Rich. Redirect. Where is he? Villa Park. Cast. There it is. I found him. He's doing emergency meeting as well. There, right. I'll redirect you over to Rich as well. I'm going over to Big Up now for the watch along. Come over to there. And yeah, come over. Big up to my guy. Long time no see. PC lockdown, locking it up in the house. British Columbia in the house. Member for 14 months, over a year. He's doing his thing. We love PC. He's an absolute legend. But yeah, come and chat more Villa. Come and chat more Villa on that link in the pinned comment. I'm going over there right now. Right here. Come and join me on the Big Up. I'll see you in a second. Much love. I'm out of here. Ta-da.